if I told you that somewhere in Europe, a record disappeared so quickly that even collectors couldn't believe their eyes? Not a rare antique, not a luxury fashion drop, but a vinyl record, spinning with the voice of someone millions of people have grown to love. And within hours of its release, it was gone, completely sold out. Because when it comes to turning music into moments that people rush to own, there is one name fans have come to call the sold-out king. And that name is Jin. Recently, global superstars BTS surprised the world by announcing their long-awaited fifth studio album, ARIRANG. For fans, the announcement alone felt like the beginning of a new era, a new sound, a new chapter, and a new wave of memories waiting to be created. But alongside the album reveal came something that collectors and fans treasure deeply: vinyl LP versions. For many music lovers, vinyl is more than just a format. It's nostalgia, it's art. It's something you hold in your hands while the music fills the room. And this time, each member had their own individual LP version, giving fans the chance to collect a piece of the album connected to their favorite artist. The moment pre-orders opened, fans across the world rushed in. Websites slowed down, pages refreshed endlessly. Everyone hoping to secure the version they loved most. And on one of Europe's largest cultural and music retailers, Fnac, the race began. Fnac is not just any store, it is France's largest platform for music and cultural goods, and one of the most influential retailers in all of Europe. Artists from around the world released their albums there, hoping to reach European audiences. But what happened with this album stood out immediately. Because among all the individual LP versions released for ARIRANG, one version disappeared first. Not the group edition, not a limited bundle, but the LP belonging to one member. And that member was Jin. Yes, Jin's individual vinyl sold out first on Fnac, making him the fastest BTS member to sell out on France's largest platform. In a market known for passionate music collectors and strong competition, that moment spoke volumes. But what made it even more remarkable was that the momentum didn't start in Europe. Before the Fnac sellout even happened, Jin's LP version for ARIRANG had already sold out rapidly on the US platform Weverse. 2 continents, 2 markets, and the same result: fans rushing to secure Jin's record before it vanished. Moments like this are exactly why fans started calling him the sold-out king. Because again and again, whenever something connected to Jin appears, whether it's merchandise, tickets, or albums, it tends to disappear faster than anyone expects. But Jin's influence in Europe actually goes much deeper than just album sales. In fact, his popularity there has been steadily growing for years. According to the 2023 Overseas Hallyu Status Survey conducted by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, together with the Korea Foundation for International Cultural Exchange, Jin achieved something remarkable in France. He ranked 5th among all singers and groups recognized by French audiences. And here's the detail that surprised many observers. Among the members of BTS, Jin was the only one included on that list. One name representing the group's impact. One artist capturing the attention of French audiences in a unique way. It showed that Jin's appeal wasn't just limited to fans who already knew BTS. It was reaching the broader cultural landscape as well. And perhaps the most symbolic moment of his connection with France came in 2024. That year, the world gathered in Paris for the 2024 Summer Olympics. An event watched by billions, a celebration of human achievement, culture, and unity. And during the iconic Olympic torch relay, a tradition that carries the Olympic flame through cities and communities, Jin was selected as one of the torchbearers. To be chosen for this role is an enormous honor. It represents influence, inspiration, and global recognition. And when the legendary French magazine Paris Match introduced the 31 stars chosen to carry the torch, Jin stood out in a very special way. He was the only foreigner featured among them. But what truly caught attention was the way the magazine described him. They called him a true prince who ascended the throne 235 years after the French Revolution. It was poetic, unexpected, and unforgettable. A description that reflected how captivating his presence felt to many in France. Elegant, charismatic, almost royal in the way he carries himself. And the admiration didn't stop at cultural recognition. Europe's luxury industry also began paying attention. Global brands know that influence matters, and Jin's influence stretches across continents. According to reports, several European brands showed interest in partnering with him. Eventually, the legendary Italian fashion house Gucci succeeded in securing Jin as a global ambassador. But France made sure its own luxury identity remained connected to him as well. Because Jin was also chosen as the first global ambassador for the prestigious French jewelry brand Fred. And when French media talked about him during this period, they used a nickname that perfectly captured the mood surrounding him. They called him the Darling of Europe, a title that says a lot about how warmly he has been received there. Of course, fans already know that Jin's appeal comes from many different sides. Often referred to as the visual king, his appearance has captivated audiences since the earliest days of BTS. But just as important is his voice. Warm, powerful, emotional. The reason many fans also call him the vocal king. And beyond music, Jin continues to shine in every field he enters. From solo albums that showcase his unique tone, to fan meetings where thousands gather just to share moments with him, to concert stages where his presence fills arenas, to variety shows where his humor and personality make people laugh instantly. Each appearance reveals another layer of the artist behind the global fame. And now, with BTS preparing for the next chapter through the album ARIRANG, expectations are rising again around the world. Fans are curious, collectors are ready, and millions of people are waiting to see what new memories this album will create. But if the recent vinyl sellout tells us anything, it's this. When something connected to Jin appears, it doesn't stay available for long, because somewhere out there right now, there are fans who blinked for just a moment, and when they looked back at the screen, the words had already appeared. Sold out. Once again proving that when the sold-out king releases something, the world moves fast to catch it.